See, I'm great at double tapping.
How does it work for you? Can you give me a sign or two? 'Cause everywhere I look, there's nowhere for me. And everything I see is already happening. I wish I could have answered all your calls.
Montreal-based Midwest emo band Gulfer have returned for their third studio album, Third Wave. Third wind, not third wave. I can't believe I fucked that up. I'm ashamed of myself, really, but third wind. Sorry! I have liked Gulfer for a long time now, since their debut album, Dog Bless. I even enjoyed their follow-up album, the self-titled Gulfer. So, yeah, I was really looking forward to this album once a few singles had dropped, like Clean, which was a great song. And it didn't disappoint. This album is incredible. I guess, like, the one interesting thing to note, or what the band was putting out there that they wanted to, like, signal to their audience, is that Vincent Ford, who was the primary singer-songwriter for the band, I think was also a founding member, he has stepped back a bit. He still has some writing credits on this album, but I guess Justin Theroux, who was one of the other guitar members of the band, is now one of the primary writers, so they've been signaling that this is what's happening on this album. And I actually don't think there is that much of a change that they needed to, like, put this front and center for the, I guess, press of this new album run. But yeah, I guess, like, the one thing to note, if you are someone who's aware of Gulfer, is that some of the mathier elements have been toned down just slightly, although they still remain, with songs like Heart Shape, Motive, and Prove, all still having, you know, the double tap that we've come to love about math rock and Midwest emo in particular. The other thing I notice is that some of the more shoegazier elements have increased, like on songs Drainer or Vacant Spirits, that have these almost like wall of sound-like effects. But that being said, I mean, there still is the typical emo pop punk sentiments throughout this album. You know, you have songs like Too Slow, which is a very short, bursting pop punk tune, but you also have, like, post-hardcore songs that are very reminiscent of early emo in songs like No Brainer. So, you know, most of that you would expect on a Midwest emo album. You get it here, so I don't see that much of a change between switching up Vincent with Justin. I should also note, I found this out. Apparently, Justin was on, like, a Forbes 30 under 30 list for, I guess, being a PhD student studying Alzheimer's disease. So you can be in a band and be, I guess, discovering what the causes of Alzheimer's is, and also be Forbes 30 under 30. I guess, why not? Why not? Sure, go for it, Justin. Outshine the rest of us, why don't you? But yeah, the lyrics on this album, though, are also incredible, and I think, like, that to me is the standout compared to other Gulfer albums, which fit the sort of typical emo milieu, you know, romance, broken hearts, etc. However, on this album, it gets political, and in ways that are, like, haunting and dystopian, and I do love that this sort of still fits with their frenetic, emo, mathy, shoegazy elements. So, like, the opening track, Clean, is literally about killing your boss, and who can't relate to that, you know? And I do love, like, the clean is in reference to keeping your fingerprints clean. So you murdered the person, but you want to hide the evidence, obviously, you know. Kill your boss, but get away with it. But I mean, that's not the only political message here. We also get signs of climate change, like on the track Cherry Seed. There's a lot about depression. However, there's still, like, romantic elements throughout. Like, even on the song Clean, you kill the boss, but then you're, like, running away with the person that you love. And in a way, the album also like has a sort of like cohesive theme that sort of like wraps up in the end, where throughout the album it seems like through the dystopian you can still find romance and you're still wanting to run away with this person. And it ends with the track Talk All Night, which sees I guess Vincent Ford wrote that song, but it seems like him and his partner are like watching the world end together, or watching like the end of capitalism together. Like it has all come to this like epic conclusion where things are all falling apart. And it really fits nicely as a cohesive lyrical album. Not to mention that the sounds all fit together as well. I have to say, like, there was just so many good songs on this. The only thing, or the only song that really stuck out to me as like not being on par with the rest of the album was maybe the track Motive. It's a little bit more low key, which isn't a bad thing, but again, it just sort of like lacks the the emotional intensity of the rest of the song. Although lyrically it still has like this neat theme having to do with how everyone is on screens, on television, being seen all the time, and yet no one seems to be listening. So everything's falling apart. We're being able to have our voices out there, but like still there's no uptake of the voices being presented, right? So you could protest, but it seems like protest is doing absolutely nothing, which, you know what? Fair. I mean, like, just look at what's going on in the world and all the people who are protesting right now, and absolutely nothing is being done about it, whether it's in terms of the genocide in Gaza or the fact that our planet is burning up. So very relatable, but yeah, just a great Midwest emo album. I'm loving this thing. Please check it out. The only other criticism I have is like Too Slow, which is like the punk rock song on the album. It's too short. But I want more, but other than that, it comes in, it hits you, it's fast, it's catchy, and it's depressing in all the right ways. So I would give this album an 8.5 out of 10. Check this album out. Go for it. It's great.